Hi, this is Keith Thompson, and I'm presenting to you today Press Release Recipe, pressreleaserecipe.com. One or two glitches on the demo here, but by the time you reach this page reaches you, then these demo problems will be sorted. These little glitches. So let's just go down. That's what the site looks like. These haven't been populated yet, so let's get into the action. This is the main page that you come across when you enter Press Release Recipe. It is a form filling exercise, but it's one that will reward you with a press release at the other end. And in this video I want to really concentrate not so much on content. I want to concentrate on the structure of the press releases, how journalists look at press releases. There's different schools of thought. If you go onto Warrior Forum, or you go onto a PR site, a PR Society maybe site in the United States, or where I live in the United Kingdom, you'll have different views on how press releases should be structured. Okay, what I've gone for is a safe bet. That's a 5-paragraph press release. Some people prefer to write with 3 paragraphs. So what you're doing is you're writing a press release that suggests something mysterious, something, the next big thing, you know. 5 paragraphs, you give a little bit more information. 7 paragraphs, even more still. So I've gone for a safe bet, really, because if you're a beginner, then the 5-paragraph press release is certainly acceptable by journalists. They won't balk at it, they won't say. And this is the point, you see. What Press Release Recipe does is to make sure that your structure is right when you actually send your press release out. And the thing is, with press releases, you need to keep sending them. Anyway, without further ado, let's see what this thing does. Okay, so the first part of the press release recipe is this question, which is self-explanatory. When would you like your press release to go live? Well, basically, what we're saying is, when would you're signaling to the journalists when they're allowed to publish this. I'm not a great fan of embargoes, so I took this off the software. If you put an embargo on a story, then it tends to send a negative message out to journalists. So try and avoid embargoes if you possibly can. So I put down here, you can put anything in here. This is, say we move forward the press release to September the 14th, 2012. And just to save time on this video, because there's nothing worse than training videos that go on for half an hour each, I'm going to try and keep this under 5 minutes if I possibly can, even though I can be a bit of a rambler at times. Okay, this one, I've put these phrases in for you. Okay. Now these, when we come to content, these will obviously be a lot more developed than what we're putting in here now. Who will this benefit mainly? Let's say housewives under the age of 35, let's say. Another little date box here, and that will also be incorporated in your first paragraph. So what we're doing here, in this larger area here, which is paragraph 1, all this area here, was we're putting together paragraph 1, because that is so important. You might think it's long-winded filling all these boxes in just for one short paragraph, but I can tell you that if you can get this right, you'll get a better success rate when you're putting press releases out to journalists, and also online as well, because we'll teach you in Press Release Recipe and subsequent videos how you can incorporate your keywords as well. So getting to number 1 in Google News, and in fact Google proper number 1, or between 1 and 10, depending on the strength of the story and the topicality of that story. So that's to come. Okay, so I said I'd try and keep it under 5 minutes if I possibly could. So that's I put test in here, test, and test there. And this bit here has 2 uses really. One is that you can send contact details to us, and the other is you put the contact details in your actual press releases. Always untick this box if you've already sent us your contact details on our database. Okay, so do it once, and obviously we'd be pleased to hear from you. And we just click submit, and it actually produces a fully structured press release on a PHP holding page. Now this isn't the press release proper, this is just a test page, because what you can do if you're not happy and you want to go back and fill some boxes, and you just press your back button on your browser. See how powerful that is? That's just so you're not once you fill these forms and you're not committed to using all those bits of information. But I just wanted to draw your attention here. The data is fully formatted. It's immediate. It's we can, as I say, we can fill this content a little bit later on. This is your headline. This is your first paragraph here coming up. It's your second paragraph, third, fourth, fifth, and we put ends in all press releases because we want to signal to the journalist that everything after ends is information for them. It's not to go in the story. So we can already see there that the press release is fairly well developed. I just want to also draw your attention to these little areas here, just so we get familiarity with the software. That you can cook. Cook basically means you convert this PHP document to a Microsoft Word document. But if you're using a Mac like I am, I use both Macs and PCs for IM, and we can cook in RTF. Generally speaking, cooking in RTF is a safer bet because you're not losing too many macros. There aren't all that many macros in an offline press release in any case. And if we click that, we come to a Word document, and you can insert a logo if you wish. And this we're getting now to the nitty-gritty. This is where we can start altering the press release to suit our ends. And as I say, in the next video we'll look at content, but I'm just showing you that this has now become an RTF stroke Microsoft Word. Documents can be saved as Word. So let's look at content in the next video, and I'll see you there. We'll just save this, not save that document. I'll see you in the next video.